Welcome to Sheep Yoga, and in today's class we're going to be doing a 15-minute class for strength and balance. Get ready by starting in a child's pose to really ground down. Hands out long, hips towards your heels and forehead as close to the mat as you can. Just breathe here. We're going to move into a thread the needle pose. So inhale, lift your right arm up. Exhale to thread it through your ear and your right shoulder to the ground and hold for about 2 to 3 breaths. Exhale to come out back into your child's pose, and in your own time we'll do the same on the left side. So when you're ready, lift up your left arm, thread it through, left shoulder to the ground, left ear to the ground, and hold for about 2 to 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, go back into your child's pose, and straight away we're going to move on to all fours. So hips over the knees, hands under the shoulders. We're going to work on the core balance now. So lift up your right leg and your left hand to join if you can. Either hold like this or bend your right knee and lift your left arm back to reach your ankle. Wherever you are, try and stay balanced, try and keep your weight even, and try not to dip your shoulders or your hips down. If you are going for the pose where you are holding your ankle, don't worry if it doesn't reach, as long as you're reaching towards the ankle. Gently come out of that, and we're going to do the same with the other leg. So this time lift your left leg, and if you can, your right arm to join. You can stay here or you can add the ankle grabbing. So right arm back, left leg bent to reach the ankle. Make your way back to all fours, and all at once push into your first downward facing dog of the practice, and make this downward dog a strong one. So keep your palms firmly planted, your hips going up into the sky, your chest towards your thighs, and you can pedal here if you want. On your next inhale, look towards your hands and step or hop the feet to the top of the mat, inhaling to a halfway lift, and then exhale to a forward fold. Deeply bend your knees and inhale all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale to bring the hands to heart center, and then inhale back up again. Exhale to fold forward, bending at your knees if needed. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins. Exhale to plant the hands, push into your hands and step back into a plank pose. And then exhale, lower to the ground, and then inhale to push up into a cobra pose. Exhale back down and push into a downward facing dog again. Keep breathing through your nose, and you can pedal here. On your next inhale, look towards the top of the mat and step forward. Lift into a halfway lift, and then exhale to a forward fold. Bend your knees deeply and lift all the way up. Arms up to the sky, stretching your spine. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then inhale, arms up again. Exhale to fold forward, bend your knees if needed. Inhale, hands on shins to a halfway lift, and then exhale back into your plank pose. Inhale here, and then exhale to lower to the ground. Inhale to push up your cobra pose, keeping your pelvis on the floor. Exhale back down, and then push into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky into three-legged dog. Exhale to bring it between your hands at the front of the mat, lifting up into a high lunge. Keep your core strong, and on your next exhale, move into warrior two pose by turning your back leg parallel to the mat, hands out wide. And we're going to reverse the warrior. So inhale, lift your right arm up, left hand goes down, and breathe here. And then next exhale, I want you to come back to warrior two. This time straighten your front leg. We're moving into a triangle pose. So you can bring your right arm slowly down your right leg, keeping your body in a plane. Doesn't matter how far your right arm goes, as long as you are feeling a stretch in your hamstrings. On your next exhale, bring both hands to the mat and then step back into your plank pose. Inhale here to push everything far away from the mat, and then exhale to lower all the way down. Inhale to that cobra pose again, and then exhale back to the mat and push into your downward facing dog. We're going to repeat on the left side now. So left leg goes up into a three-legged dog, and then exhale to bring it between your hands and move into your high lunge, arms up. Make sure your core is strong here. And then exhale to a warrior two pose. Inhale to reverse your warrior, so this time left arm goes up and right arm goes down. Then you're going to exhale back into your warrior two when you're ready. Straighten your front leg and we move into a triangle pose. So move your left arm slowly down your left leg as far as you can go, keeping your body in a plane, and breathe here. In triangle pose, you want to imagine you're between two plates of glass, so you're going to keep your body like that. When you're ready, look down, hands back to the mat and step back into that plank pose. Inhale to push away and exhale to lower down. And then inhale, pushing up into that cobra pose again. Exhale to lower and move into your downward facing dog, where you can just pedal here, bringing your heels to the back of the mat one at a time. Make sure there's a firm base at your hands and start to walk your feet towards your hands and hug opposite elbows and just relax in this nice gentle forward fold. In your own time, make your way slowly up to standing, and we're going to move into a tree pose here. We're going to warm up first, so place all your weight in your left leg and then gently lift up your right leg, bending at your knees. And just try to get some hip rotation, so bring your knee out and then back down, making nice circles. Once you've done that about 5 times, you're going to move into the actual pose. So you can either have your toes on the ground for balance, or you can bring your foot to the inside of your calf or the inside of your thigh. Try to avoid placing your foot on the knee joint, and wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Just try to push your right leg out, keeping your body forward, your leg opening up that hip. And you can either inhale, have your hands up, have them at heart center, and just breathe. Gently release, bringing both feet to the ground, and we're going to repeat on the other side. So we're just going to start by warming up the left side. So inhaling to lift up your knee and exhaling to rotate it, and we want to do this about 5 times. And we'll move into the pose, so either keeping your toes on the ground, foot on the inner calf or foot on the inner thigh. Hands can go anywhere, heart center, up in the air, wherever you want. And if you are feeling really balanced, you can even close your eyes. It's completely normal to wobble, and if you do come out the pose, just go back in. And start to come out of your tree pose and drop into a forward fold, just bending at knees if needed. You can have hands grab opposite elbows and just swing here. So inhale to lift up halfway, exhale to fold back forward, planting the hands and move into your plank pose. This time put your knees on the ground. We're going to do a side plank. Bring your left leg out towards the edge of the mat as you roll onto the edge of your right foot. Push your hips up and you can have your hand up to join. If you're quite comfortable here, you can straighten your left leg underneath your right to make this a bit harder. And for those of you who've done this before, you can bend the right leg to have your foot touch the inner thigh, and just keep pushing your hips up and keep breathing. Make your way back to a plank pose and lower all the way down, and just take a few breaths to recover here. On your next inhale, move into your plank pose again, and we're going to repeat on the other side. Your right leg out and your left leg long, going to the edge of your left foot. If this is comfortable, then you can add your right leg underneath your left leg, keeping your hips up and even. And if you want to, you can add the bend into your left leg, putting your foot on the inner thigh. It may not feel the same on each side, don't worry, it can feel different, but practice will make it more even with time. Make your way back to plank pose and lower all the way to the floor. And then when you're ready, push back into a child pose, hips towards the heels and arms extended out long, and take a few breaths here to recover from that intense pose. Plant your hands on the floor and push back into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look towards the top of your mat and step your feet between your hands, and inhale to lift up halfway, exhale to drop forward, and then deeply bend your knees and inhale to come back into a standing pose. We're going to move on to a dancer pose now. To prepare for this pose, you're going to start by putting all your weight into your left leg and lift up your right leg, hugging your knee in. And then you're going to grab the ankle of your right foot and try and pull it towards your glutes. You can stay here, or you can flip your grip so your thumb is facing upwards and move into the dancer pose. So inhale to lift your left arm up, and exhale to push your hand into your foot, bowing into pose, opening up your shoulder. And breathe here, try to stay balanced. Don't worry if you wobble, and if you fall out, just go back in. Gently release, and we're going to now repeat on the left side. So this time lift up your left leg, hug it into your chest, and then when you're ready, hold on to your ankle and bring it towards your glute. Inhale to lift your right arm up. Make sure you flip the grip on the ankle if you're going to move into the dancer pose, so have your thumb facing up, and then bow into the pose on an exhale. And really push the foot into the hand. Try to extend your leg back, keeping your shoulders nice and open, and breathe. Gently release and make your way to a forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows, and just sway here. Make your way to a seated pose, and we're just going to do a bit more work on the core. So we're going to do a boat pose. Sit with your feet flat on the floor and lean back so you start to feel some engagement in your abs. Try to keep your chin away from your chest, leaving a bit of a gap. And then if you can, gently lift up your feet, keeping them parallel to the floor. And if you would like, you can lift up your hands to join. If you're feeling quite strong here, you can straighten the legs and try to reach them with your hands. Hold wherever you feel comfortable for a few breaths. Gently release and give yourself a quick hug before coming to lie on your mat. Keep your feet flat on the floor. We're going to work on our glutes now. So we're going to do some bridge pose. So inhale to lift your hips up from the ground, keeping your back and your feet firmly on the ground. Try to keep your hips even, not pushing your knees too far forward. Exhale to come back down, and repeat like this a few times. On your next inhale, see if you can hold it in the bridge pose, using all your energy to keep your hips up. If you want, you can interlace your fingers behind your back to bring your shoulder blades closer together to lift your hips even higher. Gently release, dropping your hips back down, and then hug your knees into your chest. Using your last bit of energy, lift your head up to reach your knees and hold here using all the energy you have left before releasing into Shavasana, your resting pose. Have your palms facing up and your feet rolling out to the side, your back against the mat, and just breathe here, relax and absorb all the work you've done today. Stay here if you wish, or you can come out of this pose by rolling over to your right side, knees towards your chest, and use your left hand to push up into a seated position. And that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Thank you very much. Have a great day.